Hello again, everyone. Welcome into the final bet. The black and gold lose their opener, but is there some optimism for Kellen Moore's team? Plus, LSU and Tulane undefeated with monster matchups this weekend. To break it all down, we bring you a guy that you know. You didn't think you knew him, but you know. Devin Snow of Hold the Mayo Sports, and of course, I own Garland Gillen as well. You ready to roll into another week of football?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get a win this week, hopefully.
Man, I got a little optimism this week. You know, obviously I picked the Saints go 4-13, but hey, kept us in the seats at the end of the game, or in the Fox 8 Sports office in the case of you and I. LSU Tulane this weekend, man. I'm really excited. I can't believe that we're almost here.
Yeah, big weekend for football all around the area. Let's get into the opening line tonight, beginning with the black and gold. Lose a close one. Can New Orleans beat San Fran? And LSU and Tulane undefeated records on the line this weekend. Optimism, though, wasn't high entering the season for the Saints. Do you feel different after a close loss to the Cardinals?
I don't know if I feel different. I kind of thought they would win the game, to be honest. So if I feel different, I would say that, yeah, I'm kind of shocked that they didn't win the game. But they played good. You know, this isn't like an awful outing for the Saints. You know, it could have been way worse. So just to be within 7, have a chance to be in position to tie the game, I don't feel awful about it. It's going to take time. I mean, it's not going to just happen in
the one thing Saints fans don't have is patience.
Me neither.
I say you either, huh?
So, but what you going to do? I mean, you can either not have patience and freak out, or you can just understand, hey, it's the first week. Look how things are falling for you in the second week. I feel just as good about this game, about the Saints going in there and potentially winning, that I did about the Arizona game, because, I mean, you got some things working in your favor.
Yeah, you do.
I was a little worried when Chase Young was going to be out for the game, that Cam Jordan came in at 36 years old. I knew he was going to have to play the entire game. And then we had some high hopes for Trevor Penning. He wasn't in the contest, but they kept it to the very end. Jawan Johnson is now like going to be a fantasy superstar.
Well, if he can make the catch, But he still had 8 catches for the game.
I'm not going to blame. I mean, dude, he got clipped like 3 different ways in that play. But no, kept him in the end. Spencer Rattler minimized mistakes there. I mean, they're still not going to make the playoffs. They still could go 4-13, 5-12. But you know what? They didn't embarrass themselves, and that's what you really worried about. Like, there were some embarrassing losses last year at Kansas City. I think at Green Bay was embarrassing. They at least kept it close to the bitter end and gave you a shot.
I think about your show that you run, the Hold the Mayo podcast, and how it really is like a vent session. You're the therapist. You're the therapist you knew you're ever going to be, and I can only imagine what those folks were saying about, why is he taking those 3 timeouts into the locker room at halftime? What is he thinking?
They never satisfied. So any of them people calling, they usually never satisfied. There was a little bit more optimism in the calls, though. So I feel like people actually sat down, watched the game, saw what happened. Like I said, it could have been way worse. It could have been like that Green Bay, you know. I think you saw what you needed to see to just get by to the next week, you know, and just see what they can do. I don't want to rule them out of making the playoffs. I don't want to rule them out of, anything. I just want to see what they got and just kind of go from there. I mean, Spencer Rattler looked pretty serviceable. I gotta be honest. He looked pretty serviceable.
Were people going crazy on your show about Kellen Moore holding those timeouts and not really showing an aggressive side going into half?
Yeah, no. So they were going crazy about that in particular. Of course, the Jawan Johnson drop, they were not happy about that. Nobody was.
Because it's an easy catch, right?
Well,
I mean, the fans are saying, you're getting paid all that money.
Yeah. And
catch the ball.
I mean, you got to know that hand's going to be there when you're coming down. We're thinking about all these different things, right? But at the end of the day, you had much more happen than that. Blake Griffin missed a 37-yard field goal. Not that would have helped him. Not that would have won him in the game, but it would have helped. And why? Like, this guy was our best player all preseason, off season. I bought his jersey.
Bought a kicker's jersey.
He came in this morning.
All right.
It was the least happiest I've ever been about it.
I was gonna say, so you've dropped down to that level. You're buying the kicker's jersey.
Oh, I'm gonna give it to the neighbor. Yeah, I'm already. I hated to see it, but we'll see, man. It's week 1, and now we're on to week 2, and I'm expecting, a little bit better.
Yeah.
The 3 timeouts. Kellen Moore gave like a non-answer at halftime on the broadcast. Then he gave another non-answer after the game. I think he gave us a little clarification on Monday where he said he knew that the Cardinals had 3 timeouts and he had 3 timeouts, which tells me you maybe don't have a lot of faith in confidence. Confidence in your new quarterback and in your offense there.
Which to me is the wrong thing to say. Because if you don't have confidence in your quarterback that you picked over the other guy, then why do you have that guy in there?
That was my biggest problem, was that he pointed out that the Cardinals had 3 timeouts. That's telling me you're playing scared. And I don't like playing scared when, I know Devin thinks that they still have a shot, and, maybe they do, and I don't think they do, but, with seeds. But go, at least go for it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to lose? I mean, what are you going to give up a field goal at the end of the half if you go for some points?
I think the fans would feel a lot better about the team if the coach said, you know what, we're going to take some chances here. I'm going to show my belief in this young team. I got a young quarterback, but he's going to make mistakes. Let's try to make mistakes being aggressive.
Yeah, I just think that's the main thing right there. Like, in all decisions, right? Just make a little more aggressive decisions. Like, that's what we want to see. We saw the conservative stuff for years. I mean, that's the old Dennis Allen approach, to be honest with you, and you hate to see it. So anywhere you can have a shot to be more aggressive in things, we're probably going to be mad when you don't do it.
What do you think about Spencer Rattler's performance?
I thought it was serviceable.
Okay.
That's really all.
Nothing great, nothing earth-shattering.
Going back to the first half, I mean, in Kellen Moore's defense, what did he show? What did Spencer Rattler really show you in the first half to be like, hey, this guy's about to go all the way down the field. Let's regroup, let's readjust, and look how much better he played in the second half. I'd like to see him not throwing the ball 46 times. I'd like to see us running the ball.
A little more balance,
Yeah, us running the ball. I mean, Kendre Miller keeps showing you that this guy can get yards, He
reminds me of a young Latavius Murray.
Yeah.
Latavius Murray, that's a good
Power,
point.
always seems to fall forward, physical running back.
Yeah.
A perfect complement to, what was it, Lightning and Thunder with Mark Ingram was here?
Yeah.
Oh, Latavius was a great Saint.
Yeah.
I always thought he gave us great minutes every time he was on the field. So I agree with that.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler, no, I think he minimized mistakes. He didn't make the crazy one where he threw a bad pick. And you talked about it, and Devin just talked about it. It's all laid out there. Yeah, Kendre Miller, you finally might have a possible 1-2 punch again. I mean, Kamara, my biggest problem, too, was Kamara only, I think, had 12 touches in the game.
Yeah.
We need to get him up to about 20.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill him and have like 35, but you got Kendre Miller now who's healthy, which hasn't happened since he's been in New Orleans, and you got Alvin Kamara. So I like what you got at running back. Receivers, we'll get there sooner or later. Olave, dude. Oh man, I feel for Chris Olave. Every week that boy take just a nasty hit.
Bubble screen's crazy.
I thought he was.
Well, you can't put him in that position.
Oh
no,
you cannot put him in that position. I want to go back real quickly and talk about Alvin Kamara. Christian McCaffrey had 31 touches in Seattle.
Yeah.
They're similar to the same age. To me, there's no reason why Kamara's touches can't be close to that number every week. Christian McCaffrey got a better team around him.
Yeah.
AK, I think should get close to that number.
Basically what you're saying is run him to the ground, and I agree.
No, I'm not saying run him in the ground. I'm saying put the ball, he's your best player. Put the ball in his hands more, whether it be throwing the ball to him in the out of the backfield. He's a mismatch on a linebacker. Or hand the ball to him more. Kendre Miller should lessen his load a little bit, yes.
Yeah.
But Alvin needs to have the ball in his hands.
Yeah, I mean, the Ravens don't line up and say, hey, we don't know if we're going to run Derrick Henry.
They run him to the ground.
They run Derrick Henry, and you got to use Kamara. He is your best offensive player.
Yeah.
He's a vet. He knows the game better than anybody on the field. Why not? I don't agree with the low amount of touches that he got this past game. I just don't get it.
No, I'm with Kamara. They just signed a new contract, so they got him. This last offseason. Use it. He's got what? He's gonna be there for 2 years. And Derrick Henry, they run into the ground, man. They use him every play. I can't even tell you the Ravens' backup running back right now.
He had a bad fumble in the fourth quarter.
Last
game too. You don't see him do that much.
He had me 33 fantasy points before that fumble, so we were good.
You were his biggest cheerleader, and then you weren't.
Oh, wow.
The defense, I thought, played fairly well. When you think about the troubles they've had in the past of stopping running quarterbacks, they sacked Kyler Murray 5 times, 6 times. And so and with no Chase Young, I thought Carl Granderson was fantastic. He ran down that running back 50 yards.
Yeah, I don't know if
Cam
it's
got like a sack and a half.
I don't know if it's his last name because it's Granderson, but we just don't say it enough.
Yeah,
like fans just don't say Carl Granderson's name enough. This guy has gotten better and better and better. Cam Jordan looked like he was playing like his last game of life.
Listen, Carl Granderson is your best defensive end.
That is.
Chase Young may get the most hype.
Yeah.
Cam Jordan's been there the longest, but no one's played better over the last season than Carl Granderson.
I got to agree with that.
No, I like the defensive ends. I still love Stutzman, the rookie. He always makes a play. Kool-Aid. Now we'll say Kool-Aid did go against Marvin Harrison Jr. So he definitely had some plays that he dipped a little. But as a defense as a whole, They kept Kyler Murray in check. They usually get destroyed by these running quarterbacks, like absolutely obliterated.
Yeah.
So I give those props on that.
One thing I'll say about the Stutzman thing, that is one thing I noticed. You know, out of all your picks you had this past year, a lot of them really didn't play that much in that game right there. So whether it was Stutzman, Quincy Riley, the guy that went out, Broughton,
Vernon Broughton.
before the game, you know, there's a bunch of guys we didn't even get to really see play. Jonas Senka, he's going to be starting this week. So I think you got to play those rookies. I mean, this is a big draft class. It's a big one for the Saints. You got to play those. Put Stutzman out there, man. Put, you know, Quincy Riley. I mean, we saw on the 3rd and 11 with what's his name? How you say his last name? The other corner.
Ugo Amadi?
Yeah.
Or
no.
Isaac Yiadom.
Yiadom. All right. So with Yiadom on Marvin Harrison, 3rd and 11. Got his ankles broke. I mean, that was a big play for us. You know what I'm saying? The way we needed a corner in there that would be aggressive, and I think that's where you could have used a Quincy Riley. But hey, what do I know?
Well, this is also, I look at Kool-Aid McKinstry. He is not a guy that can cover a one receiver.
Nah.
I mean, he's not ready for that. Real quickly, the line's coming down a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's moving.
Brock Purdy's likely not going to play. You're already missing George Kittle because of injury. Some other key players on their team on the offense have injuries, issues right now. Are you a bigger believer in the Saints maybe having a chance? I think, 4.5 was what the last time I saw.
No, it's now at 3. It's moving, baby.
So it was 4.5 last night. And now it's down to 3.
Yeah.
There seems to be a little bit of belief out there that this is more of an even game.
I feel the same way about it as I did going into the Arizona. I think that they have a shot, but also when the line starts moving like that, that's like when it's either the Saints are going to have a good day or they may lose by 24 points, you know? So it scares me. It scares me when it keeps going to the Saints like that. But everything's working in their favor for them to come out there. Their history against Mac Jones, I believe they 2-0 against Mac Jones.
Killed him up in New England, shut him out, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I remember that. It was absolutely. So, I mean, you have that working for you. Turnovers, man. Got to get some turnovers to change the game, give Spencer Rattler a better field the way he could do more things. Hopefully score in the red zone. We need to score in the red zone.
Well, we talked about it last week. Just get one win in the first 4, and we said it wasn't going to happen in Buffalo. Maybe they could steal one in Seattle with Sam Darnold. This is it. This is the chance, man. The football gods have come down and made Brock Purdy injured for this game. This is your chance. No George Kittle, no Brock Purdy. 3-point underdogs, man. Come on. I can't. No doubt they have a shot this week,
Just
man.
keep an eye on Christian McCaffrey because he can be the team all by himself. All right, coming up, we'll switch gears and talk a little college football with LSU and Tulane. Stay with us. All right, back here on the final bet, talking college football now. LSU hosting Florida this weekend. Once upon a time, this was 2 top 20 teams meeting in Death Valley, but only LSU's going for 3-0 this week. It feels like to me this is a game LSU should win handily, but you never know against Florida.
Yeah, you never know, and especially after last week because they didn't look, I guess, how we expected them to look.
Losing for the first time ever to South Florida of all teams.
Right. And then also same with LSU, right? They didn't look as great as we would have expected them to look. But something just tells me all week that this is a game where I see LSU winning by potentially 2 touchdowns or more. I just think that Florida's in shambles, man. Just overall, the Lagway thing is their only hope, and the hope didn't work out last week, right? So I think in Death Valley, Florida, LSU, in my opinion, I mean, I know people talk about LSU, Alabama all the time. In my opinion, the most aggressive rivalry is LSU, Florida. That's just my opinion. I remember being in Death Valley in 2007 when Hester was playing.
Oh, the 4th down play. Yeah. Or numerous 4th downs.
Tebow, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it, like that whole Tebow stuff, you know. I like LSU and Death Valley against Florida, especially this Florida team. Billy Napier, I just don't see him lasting past this year.
I agree.
And it's not a 2:30 game. This is a 6:30 game. So the sun will be setting at the start of this game, but I think the students will be fired up. Brian Kelly implored them that you worked out the recipes last week at your tailgate against Louisiana Tech. You worked out your cocktail recipes. Now it's all perfected this week for this game. I think they'll be fired up. I think they're going to harass DJ Lagway. Dude, Jack Pyburn was on the Florida Gators last year, and I feel like I'm sure he feels like he got passed over a little for some other guys. I think he's going to wreak absolute havoc and want to hit DJ Lagway numerous times.
One of the best sound bites I heard this week from Garrett Nussmeier talking about, I think everybody knows, I don't like Florida. I don't like the Florida Gators at all. To me, that tells me he is really itching to get back on the field after having a disappointing showing, not really a normal Nussmeier showing against La Tech. I feel like he's going to have a huge game.
Yeah, and I think this is the games where Nussmeier kind of gets into his rhythm. These games coming up, right? So I think Florida, that's a big one right there. I don't take anything that happened against La Tech seriously.
I thought that was going to be a setback, let down.
Yeah.
I mean, you're coming from Clemson, that big game, all that hype surrounding it, winning the first one since 2019. I thought that was going to be a setback. I didn't think the offense would have that big of a setback, but that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as you bounce back the right way.
I can't get off the nuts bus yet. I mean, I think it's still got a long way to go. Yeah. I'd like to see him, take a few more deep shots and, try to get some more big plays. But I think it's just going to come with time, man. I got to stay confident with LSU, man. That's just the way I feel about it.
I think Braylon Moore being knocked out in the first play of the game shook him a little. I think it's 50-50 plays this week. I know that Coach Kelly said he's practiced this week, and he said he might be probable.
But they've had a week to get somebody else ready.
Right. Well, and DJ Chester played center last year, so, he's done it before. I think that kind of shook him a little because there was a lot of pressure on him. But, man, when you got Nick Anderson, you got Barry Brown, and you got Aaron Anderson, you got Chris Hilton. We're waiting for the big Chris Hilton breakout game there. Maybe it'll come this week.
To me, the situation with LSU that's the big difference maker will be their ability to run the ball.
Yes.
Their ability to stop the ball run is not going to be a problem. I think Florida's problem is they don't have any good receivers this year for the first time in a long time. And so that secondary could have a field day. That defense for LSU could have a field day. They've been as good as I've seen in the last 5-6 years.
I need to see more Hall and Barry. I think when they give Hall and Barry the ball, he's electric, man. So, I mean, if you're looking for some run yards, and you're right, we haven't really been getting a lot of them. I don't know what it is, man, because we have good, like, when you think about what Caden Durham's done in the past, when you think about Caleb Jackson, all these guys, they really good running backs. It just feels like we kind of don't.
The holes aren't opening for them.
Yeah. That is true. And we don't stick with it long enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, Joe Sloan loves to throw the ball. I think that was his biggest dig from the national media. But one, you talk about in the defensive side of the ball, man, when you got P.J. Woodland, who's definitely stepping up, you got DJ Pickett, the freak show 6'4" cornerback. I think they're going to eat these guys alive. I'm with Devin. This is going to. I know it's 7.5 point spread. I think LSU could terrorize this team and beat up Sunbelt Billy and the Florida Gators.
7.5 seems like a low number to me. I think they're giving Florida respect because it is Florida. But I agree with you. I think this is Napier's last year there. I don't think he's won enough games there like they thought he would, like he did at La Tech.
And they've given him a lot of slack. They've given him a lot of slack too. I mean, he's lost some bad games, So. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're definitely, and he openly wanted this job, the LSU job, and they gave it to Brian Kelly. I'm excited to see Tiger Stadium. Devin's going to be in the house at Tiger Stadium. Yeah. I'm going to be on the field shooting the game, working. So I'm excited about this one.
Yeah. One last thing I'll say about LSU. This is my thing about Brian Kelly. This guy cares so much. Yeah. Like, you could just tell in everything. I don't care who you are, what position you play. Man, you make a mistake, you run off the field, you better know that you about to go see Brian Kelly. He's going to be there. You're going to hear it. He just cares, man. And that's one thing, bro. Like, with the Edo, I love Edo to death. Yeah. We could tell he didn't care at the end. Brian Kelly really cares about getting this team where we
Well, mainly because Brian Kelly hasn't gotten to where Coach O got with this team, which is a national championship. Yeah. Let's talk about Tulane. Darian Minson, former quarterback at the Wave last season, coming back as quarterback of Duke this season. That's going to be interesting inside Yeoman Stadium this weekend. That's a fun one to be at.
And they're very upset. The people in Yeoman are very upset about the move. I actually talked to Menza when I was at Man and Passing Academy. He's a cool kid, But
money talks.
Huh?
Money talks.
Yeah.
Especially $3 to $4 million.
What would you do?
I mean, come on now. I got to take care of my family.
Yeah.
You did.
I mean, I don't blame him.
Yeah, it's $3 million he's getting per year. My sources told me at Tulane it was going to be between $500 and $750K.
Jake Retzlaff's career is underway at Tulane. He's 2-0. He's played well. Who wins the game on Saturday?
I like Tulane.
Yeah.
I like Tulane. If you look at what happened with Duke last week against Illinois, who, by the way, Illinois is a really good team. I had them in that game. I thought they would win, but they were getting pressure on Menza. The blueprint's out on Menza. So if Tulane takes a look at it, which I'm sure they've been looking at it all week long, if they can get to Menza and force some turnovers, they're going to be able to score. Yeah. So I do like Tulane's chances. I know it wasn't the greatest looking out against South Alabama, but the new guy they got at quarterback, I can't say his
Retzlaff.
name. Retzlaff. Okay, yeah. He's good. Yeah. So I think it was a great addition. And Tulane's hungry, man. Watch out. That's all I could say about Tulane. Because if they do win this game, and I know this is a lot of if they do's, if they do mess around and beat Ole Miss, then we got to start thinking about, oh boy,
Absolutely.
maybe they could get into the college playoff. And guess who might be there too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well LSU Tulane. You know what? That'd be perfect because Coach Summerall said that they need to put LSU back on the schedule.
Yeah.
Who knew that Summerall was going to get it this possible year? That's a good call there. Yeah, I got Tulane winning this game there. It's around a 1.5 point favorite right now. That spread's been moving all over the place.
Yeah, going to be a fun one. Devin, thank you.
Thank you.
As always, brother. Appreciate you having with us. Hold the Mayo. All right, coming up, our bet of the week.